I want to die.
Oh my god, I am so excited to talk about this game. Ladies and gentlemen, I finally found it. After months of searching, I found Talby Tick's Request, Deadpool on the Xbox 360. I found this at my local game store, so shout out to Retro Jigs for the help here. I am so excited to play this game. I've heard so many things, and now I finally just get to play it for myself. I can safely tell you all, the search was more interesting than the actual game, but this game is still pretty damn fun. It's exactly the game you'd expect from Deadpool, a hack and slash game where Deadpool breaks the fourth wall and makes me laugh. This is a funny ass game, and on top of that, the combat is ooh so smooth. I spent 10 minutes in the apartment where I couldn't do anything. That is how much content I just got out of the first level. That's Nolan North, legendary voice actor, as Deadpool, and he kills it. I almost didn't realize it was him until, of course, Deadpool has a literal conversation with him. The game is chock full of meta humor, to the point where Deadpool calls up High Moon Studios, one of the companies behind the game, to ask them to make the game. While we're playing the game! It is one hell of an experience. Deadpool is, at least. I mean, I gotta be fair here and say, while yes, the combat is smooth and precise as hell, it does get really repetitive quick. Even with the combos, they're usually the same 2 or 3 moves combined. And yeah, I'm not a fan of the shooting in this. Man, I am impressed. Even if the gameplay itself is nothing to write home about, I can safely say finding the game was well worth it. I still can't believe they delisted it, apparently over licensing issues. That's absurd. This game demands to be played by everyone. Maybe one day they can re-release it or even make a brand new game. With how popular Spider-Man has become in the gaming scene, and with Insomniac about to release Wolverine, I think superhero games have been shot back into the limelight, and I'd love to see a more modern Deadpool game, considering this dropped in 2013. What a great time. Definitely a fun one. With that, welcome back to License the Game, everybody. You know the song and dance. We are on episode 8, my friends. Keep them requests coming, and you'll get your game played in the coming months. We had a record number of requests last episode, so let's get it. Please understand if yours doesn't get in. I just have to, balance it out. Anyways, let's get to it. We have our first request from Jeremy Reviews, who suggested Chicken Little on the PC. I very vaguely remember talking about this game in Chicken Little got a PS2 tie-in game. Chicken Little! A lifetime I refuse to talk about, so we now have a more modern take on the game here on Steam. Gotta be careful there, Disney Universe flashbacks kicking in. Already off to a bad start, the game's so old 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio didn't exist yet. Sorry about the display on this one. Ugh, Chicken Little. This movie is universally hated and is often considered one of the worst Disney movies. So you may be surprised to hear I actually didn't mind this one. It's a platformer where you play as Chicken Little, doing all sorts of Zach Braff shit. Though god, bare naked ladies about to bless up. It was a recipe for disaster. A 4-course meal of no siree. It's in the happily ever after. Was happy everyone was after me. Isn't it weird that there's now 2 supposed kids movies to use a song by a band called Bare Naked Ladies? Even weirder, Disney made this one an original soundtrack. Well, this one definitely shows its age with its graphics. Ugh. I'd say this one is about as basic as it gets. The entire game is essentially the same as Meet the Robinsons on the PS2, though the levels are thankfully a little shorter.
Acorns, acorns, acorns. Why is it always about acorns?
Alright dude, you're the one who caused mass hysteria because an acorn landed on your head. Chill out. Maybe it's the Steam version of this game, but this one runs like dick.
I just gotta find some change.
Even years later, the way Zach Braff says that shit is so funny. Oh yeah, that is Zach Braff, by the way. Friendo? I wasn't finished. I didn't beat the level. Hey, brother, I didn't finish the... Okay, onto this. Each level has something different going on. As far as that goes, I will say this one's totally passable. The dodgeball segment was funny only because my teammates are about as useful as the clubhouse in that Ha-Cha-Cha clip.
The clubhouse soon will all be mine!
Look at y'all doing fuck all to stop him! By the way, since Toy Story 5 drops in June, I'm doing an every Mickey Mouse game video to prove God hates me. I know this one's super short, but it kinda gives off the same vibes as Meet the Robinsons. At this rate, someone just needs to suggest the Bolt PS2 game and we'll be set for this era. Oh jeez, that Slopfest had a game? Nah man, I hate that damn movie. Well, next up we have the first time I've ever had 2 people request the same game. We have Aqua Teen Hunger Force Zombie Ninja Pro Am on the PS2, a request from Valen Tunes and Very Special Imaginary Friend. This is both of their first requests for the show. Hey, I've been on kind of an Aqua Teen Hunger Force binge recently, so let's check this out.
My name is Shake Sula, the mic ruler, the old schooler. You want a trip? I'll bring it to ya.
Hell yeah, top 3 Adult Swim intros of all time. Okay, so... Oh, hell no. Who said yes? Who needs to be responsible for this? Who do I need to take to the backyard and shoot? No, guys, listen. I've seen some shoddy-looking 2D cartoons, 3D games in my life, but what the hell? It ain't the misadventures, so I could be a little grateful there, but my god, they look so bad. But to something good about this, the humor matches this show so well. I audibly laughed at a good chunk of these. But then I got to what the game is about. This is an Aqua Teen Hunger Force golf game. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of this game's golf mechanics. The meter here slows down when it's time to swing. It kept throwing me off. What the... Carl? And where the hell did it even come from? Hell? Did that motherfucker come from hell, bitch? All that for a double bogey. Well, they don't call me the Tiger Woods of Aqua Teen Hunger Force Ninja Pro-Am. They don't. Yeah, sorry, yo, I'm not a big fan of this one. Outside of the humor really matching the show and alongside some collectibles that apparently contained footage from, at the time, never before seen episodes that wouldn't air until months after the game release. That's pretty cool. I'm afraid this one's not my favorite. Thanks for the request either way. Next up we have Play the Title Card. James, oh boy, you're 2 for 3 on your request, so we have his 4th request here, flushed away on the I Hate You. This was really close to one of the worst games I played for my DreamWorks game ranking. Ugh, let's get to it. The game is essentially just another DreamWorks platformer. You play as Hugh Jackman Mouse as you navigate the treacherous world of the sewers. So this is what London is like. I'm sorry, did I just fucking die from falling 3 feet? Oh yeah, this game controls horribly. On top of a janky-ass camera, it's impossible to know where I'm going. Oh yeah, did I mention the enemies say something to you every possible moment? The game is just not fun, man. Sneaking around the corner. Jump! Fuck this game. Thanks, James, for the request. Next up, we have a request from Poppy. Alright, I'll give you the time of day, even though you actively requested what Y2K does to a motherfucker last time. She requested The Thing on the PS2. Man, that's one hell of a movie. A genre-defining film, in my opinion. So let's check out a PS2 game based on it. As we know, generational movies getting PS2 tie-ins always work. Did I miss a page? What the hell was that? Alright, we got our crew here, and playing through the first level, this is about half and half as it gets. Definitely not as bad as Charlie's Angels, but also not an amazing game by any means. It's a survival action game, kind of similar to that of an old school Resident Evil game. Right down to awkward dialogue.
Blake, you need anything?
I'm sorry, did I just enter Fallout 3 for like a split second? Some of the team mechanics used in this game are actually not that bad in my opinion. There's a use of trust which determines if someone will follow you or not. You have to build that trust up, usually by giving weapons or healing your team. These kinds of mechanics can be looked at today with a lot of modern live service games, just not to the extent they used it here. There's a cold meter that tells us how long we have before dying of hypothermia, so we have to be strategic with how long we're out in the cold. These are really cool mechanics that I'm surprised a game like this used. But then I found out the big issue with this game. It's really not fun to actually play it. The entire first level is just us going here, Michael Bay, going over here, we need a key to the infirmary, search the area for the key to the infirmary, go to the infirmary, we need an access code. My dumbass thought it would be around here somewhere, keyword dumbass, I just need the mechanic of the group to turn the power on. Then we go to the terminal, get the access code, go outside, find C4s, blow shit up. I don't shoot one thing in this entire sequence, by the way. Oh, guess again, guys, because of course the game doesn't have a jump button. So I instead found myself accidentally shooting instead because the shoot button is A. Why is the shoot button A? Can I leave a room without God trying to smite me himself? The second level finally has 20 seconds of shooting. And guess what? Remember how I said, why is the shoot button A? That definitely didn't register with me at the time because I was useless in this fight. I gotta say this game is way better than I expected, but I also can't say it's a game I absolutely loved. It's definitely got frustrating moments with some mechanics I actually am surprised by. Not the worst you've done, Poppy, so thanks for the request. Okay, so last episode, I asked you guys to give me a good game mill game, thinking it was an impossible task. Well, it seems OJ Diesel said hold my orange juice and diesel and requested Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. The Nickelodeon Smash ripoff? Alright, I'll give you a chance. Okay, I like this. Where's Hugh? Where's Hugh Neutron? He was in the first game, damn it. Well, this is still a pretty respectable lineup. And overall, the fighting is good, and the ultimate moves reference their shows. This wasn't official. There's no possible way that Game Mill and Nickelodeon actually put effort into a game like this. Yeah, I'll admit, this is a really decent Game Mill title. One of their best, in my opinion. It proves that maybe I shouldn't be so judgmental. But again, I didn't really play it. Rather, I hosted the first ever Media Bros sponsored Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 AI tournament, and now I'll be showing highlights of that tournament. It's insane how intense. Jimmy just falls off! Are you kidding me? Patrick already trying to take an L? Squidward himself said, "Fuck you, Patrick." Ooh, trying to push the champions down into the water. Is that gonna work for her? Is that good? Is that a good strategy? I just realized what damage Cora has, and I'm pissed off now. Patrick just kills himself! Overall, this one is a surprise hit. Congratulations, Sunny D Gasoline, you made a damn good call. Well, you know what they say, lightning doesn't strike twice, but double requests do. We have another two people who requested the same game, Chance Norman and Matthew LeBlanc, who both requested Disney Speedstorm. A Disney racing game? Okay, never heard of it, so let's check it out. Okay, we got a long-ass loading screen here. How many shaders could you possibly be compiling? Now, what are the odds? I just did 1997 in animation, and my tutorial track is the Hercules one. Oh, there he is, Mr. himself. Yes, sir, Mickey. Let's get this show on the road. Maybe I'm crazy? What am I talking about? I'm playing Disney Speedstorm, so I'm definitely crazy. But this game is kind of fun. Wow, when you consider Gameloft is behind this one, another one of those crappy licensed game publishers. I mean, they made Dreamlight Valley. Oh, and Sniper Fury. Shit. It's free to play. But maybe that's why I'm enjoying this so much. This game is free and it's fun to play. The essential idea is that you race against other players. Yeah, I refuse to believe anyone with a pulse plays this game, so I'm calling cap. I saw this Rick Hanna player in 2 of the races I did. I can definitely see where people's issues are, though. This game is free to play, but it comes at the cost of microtransactions. Look, this is the Disney Mario Kart ripoff. There ain't really anything here worth your money. There's one thing in this game worth your money. For the most part though, the core element, the racing, is completely free, and you can even grind on the season pass. Yuck! One of my favorite sins of life service games, a pass that you have to work towards by playing the game, and this is after you spend money on it. Jeez, I don't know anyone who even knows this game exists. Well, okay, I know 2 people, but that's it. How many people can have the time to grind this hard on the game like this? The leveling up concept is super bloated though. See, when you buy these boxes with in-game currency, be wary. You don't just unlock a racer advertised. You instead unlock racer shards, which goes into unlocking them. Seriously though, if you don't want to spend the money, you really don't have to. Most of these microtransactions are completely optional and the core aspect shines just as bright. Just looking through the shop, the amount of variety in these racers is honestly baffling. Damn, Disney, you acknowledge this? Yep, seems like my money wasting on Speedstorm days are far behind me. Son of a bitch. Guys, it's concerning that I now have 2 games in my Steam library with characters I gooned to. Speedstorm is a damn surprise. I see the publisher in the concept, and I think some shovelware garbage, but instead, it's a fun and enjoyable racing game with enough variety to pull through. Well, next up we have a request from Absolute Squirrel, who requested Cars Race-O-Rama. Oh god, another Cars game? Hell yeah, there's a... Wait a minute, Absolute Squirrel? Oh hell no, you better not be. Oh, wait a minute.
I am going to commit great crime and...
Alright, damn it, why is it lagging? My PC can run Fallout 4 like a beast, but crumbles at the sheer willpower of Cars Race-O-Rama? Gotta say, this one I didn't really play as a kid, and after playing it, it's a tad weaker than the first 2, but I don't think that translates it to being bad. It's got the same setup as the first 2 Cars games, racing and shit, hell yeah, but this game has one mechanic I cringe at. The drift. What the hey, I was cheaters! One of those Chick Hicks buddies? Ka-chigga! Ka-chigga! And the drift is so damn slippery. I mean, the racing itself is fine, though damn, are these all miniature Jackson Storms I'm going against? Probably the only Cars game I've had any competition in. At the end of the day, it's fine, it's just not the first one for me, but I see some appeal. But this drift, man, oh my god. Oh shit! Well, next up we have a request from Just for Comments, who requested Goosebumps Horrorland. Ugh. Last time I played a Goosebumps game. I really need to get back into streaming. But I've always considered Goosebumps to be not really that scary. Even the last one I played didn't really bring the frights. So yeah, I'm not expecting much. Oh god! Actually, I joke around, but these cutscenes already show more effort than Game Mill's Goosebumps ever showed. The whole concept is that we get invited to a new amusement park. What? You ungrateful twerp? That ticket probably cost more than your mom's house payment. We eventually do get convinced to go, and listen, if this guy ran Disney World, I'd go more often. I'm just saying. And I found out that this game is a minigame collection. Joy. I'm not the biggest fan of these, they're usually pretty lazy. And as I found out going through each minigame, while some of them are fine, they all demonstrate one of two issues. One, they have nothing to do with Goosebumps. Like the roller coaster in the first area. This is a fine experience, but I could literally just make a desert-themed coaster in Planet Coaster or some shit and get the exact same experience. Or if the minigame did have some Goosebumps energy, they were usually the hardest to control. The bumper cars minigame, dear lord. Being in first person was not the moves, ladies and gents. Don't look what you did, Mr. Electric, kill him! And then there's the batting cage in the second world. The second world actually had some essence of Goosebumps, but geez, I'm swinging. I'm the damn David Ortiz of Goosebumps Horrorland and it's not registering. There's nothing that wrong with this, the minigame's just pale. This is a great idea, a phenomenal one honestly, but its minigames can't back it up. Thanks for the request either way. The fuck? House MD on the Nintendo DS? In what world? Of course, Turkish's Friends PS2 ass requested this. Let's dive in. I will never know what to expect. No, I gotta be mature with this. So the game surprisingly acts a lot like the show. Someone has something weird happen to them and Hugh Laurie mogs them. It's a very strange and not very good game, but I have to say, not one time did I ever know what to expect. Surprisingly, the cutscenes stay pretty in tone with the show. The gameplay consists of doing medical stuff like diagnosing someone, figuring out symptoms. Taliban, whoa, I blanked for a second. I'm sorry, I've seen too many brain-rotted TikToks about House MD for me to play this. I cannot believe it exists, I gotta say that. And it should be known, this was a European-only release. Man, they get all the bangers over there. Actually, saddest thing is, this is so far the best European-only release I've played, so let's get ourselves a good European release for episode 9. Thanks for the request, Turkish, keep it up. I always look forward to seeing what stupid niche shit you can come up with. We now have Toy Story 3 from the Media Lover. Toy Story 3 on the PS3, the only port of the game where you can play as Zurg. I played the PC port because I don't own a PS3, my bad. Anyways, I have talked about this game, but dear lord, it's been almost 2 years. As a matter of fact, when I went to Steam to record this, it actually showed my last play date was sometime early November 2024, when I did my original Pixar game video. Well, after revisiting it, I can safely tell you, this game slaps! In hindsight, it is a straight up adaptation of the movie. Only 8 levels here, also you'd think the levels wouldn't do much, but... In those very small amounts of levels, it crams insanely creative designs, fun platforming, incentive to explore the levels, and get all these collector cards. And visuals that are Madagascar PS2 levels if that doesn't hold up well.
She don't love you no more.
Like Bonnie's house. Okay, you think it's just gonna be a reskin of Andy's house, the game's second level, right?
I love your cow, Bess. Want some more coffee? Yes, ma'am. With some sugar and cream and cinnamon, please. Of course, here you go.
All of this, and I haven't even scraped the greatest addition to this game, the Toy Box. This had to be a precursor to Disney Infinity's Toy Box mode because it's the same level of fun and enjoyable. It's very clear the game's focus was around this mode as it is one of the best features in any Pixar game.
Looks like Stinky Pete could use some help.
Oh, Stinky Pete? That Stinky Pete? The Stinky Pete that tried to murk us? We like Stinky Pete now? But with how much focus the Toy Box has, you may think it slacks on other features, and I'm not kidding, I'm having serious trouble thinking of any real issues with this. I guess when I look back at the footage, switching between Woody, Jesse, and Buzz was a little annoying. They all stay in one spot if you're not controlling them, so if you're like me and completely forget that each of them have different abilities, you're definitely bound to do some retracing, which is just never fun in any game. But man, what a game. I believe I said this is my favorite Pixar game, and while I'm still waiting for someone to suggest the Ratatouille game so I can make sure, for now, that statement stays true. This is Pixar's best gaming achievement, and I seriously doubt we'll ever get a better game than this. Next up, we got Ben 10 Alien Force Vilgax Attacks from DJ Peacemaker. Been playing a bunch of Ben 10 games recently. Might be an every game video idea. Let's see here. This one's pretty alright. Definitely nothing terribly special, but surprisingly very fun to play. You play as Benison Tennyson as he goes through and beats up enemies. This is pretty much the game, but it's got absolutely nothing wrong with it, and beating up enemies is fun enough. Sometimes we got some variety in between. The amount of times I heard Ben's goofy ass say, "Spider Monkey!" Sorry to keep this one so short, but sometimes when a game's just damn alright, that's a good thing. Thanks for the request. Next up we have Where's My Cross? Where's my cross? Whatever hell you've rained upon me, movie fan, I don't want it. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the GBA. You could have replaced that BA with a C, so I guess I'll count my blessings. Based on the movie people hate for some reason, and also a handheld port of one of the worst games of all time. I'll count this as a win for you simply not requesting that one. Playing this game? Alright, this is a 6 out of 10 platformer. I'm used to seeing crimes against humanity from Movie Fan. I'm worried what he'll do next, but for now, I'll give you credit. It follows the plot of the movie. You play as Charlie as you go through the chocolate factory. Yeah. Also, sorry about the window display. MGBA doesn't work well with OBS if it's full screen, and I had to use a keyboard because for some reason I couldn't find the controller setup. See, this is how real men play video games. Jesus Christ. The levels are pretty fun, a bit frustrating at times as Charlie's jump is wimpy as shit. Hold on. Grandpa Joe, you good?
Charlie, I'm off to perk.
Well, that's just jolly good, Grandpa Joe. Listen, movie fan, at one point with full confidence, you requested this shit, so I'm gonna give this guy credit. He could have given me the GameCube version, so... Ah, shit! We got a banger, ladies and gentlemen. DuckTales on the NES, requested by all pros. I always knew this was a total banger, but I've actually never played it, and if memory serves me correctly, I actually haven't played an NES game for the series. Technically, that streak continues as I'm playing the Disney Afternoon Collection version of this game. Like, yeah, I could have just emulated this, but nah. The US economy's already fucked. What's $20? Well, I mean, I got all these games alongside it, so if any of these interest you, feel free to request them. With that, let's play DuckTales on the NES. Alright, got a selection of levels here. Let's go to the Amazon. Oh, wait, I'm vibing! Yo, my name is Lil Xander. I'm a rapper stuck in DuckTales. But if you ask her, she can get that DuckTale. I'm traveling all around the world going on DuckTales. If you ask Daisy, then she gets this DuckTale. Oh, gonna get these hoes, dive into the hole. Oh my god. This game is so good, but it's hard. But I guess it came out in a different era, like before the Atari or something. But I'm not even playing the NES version because I'm playing the emulated version on the Disney Afternoon Collection. Yeah. I mean, these levels are super rich and fun to explore, and man, this music. This might just be one of the best video game soundtracks. Every single one of these tracks are a banger. And levels, back to them, for being around 1989 or whatever this dropped, to give you an idea, this was the same year Mario 3 dropped, and I dare say these levels are a lot more vast and enjoyable to look around. You gotta get these treasures, diamonds. I'd say at points it's not entirely clear where I need to go. Like, the Transylvania level is a total labyrinth. But the moon level? Wait, that's where the track came from? I had no idea. No, seriously, this entire game, for being the first ever NES game on the show, it really sets a high bar. I don't see Beetlejuice doing this shit. So good job, all pros. They actually had 2 requests in their comments, so I'll be doing that one next month, or the one after. Depends on how good recording goes. Well, next up we have Dogman Mission Impossible, a request from Stereo. I've been meaning to get to this one. And after playing, I can say this one's super simple, but I guess it does work fine. The game, as you play as Dogman, Lil Petey, and ADHD, traversing 2D levels and collecting bones and badges, and you know the drill. I'm sadly not the biggest 2D platformer fan, but this one is completely harmless. It is about as standard a 2D platformer as we can get. It's not bad, it's just really freaking simple. Like, I just recorded it and I'm trying to remember anything that stood out. I guess that means it's perfectly fine, and I guess I remember the animations on the characters looking good. Petey gives us health when we find him. Dogman X Petey confirmed! We collect sperm. Oh, and if we keep not getting hit, we can become super! Again, I'm trying to think of things to say. It's as good as I'd expect a Dogman game to be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we end our episode with one very special request. From Pebbler Critical, we have Disney Sing It. This was a popular karaoke Disney game series back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. The one I specifically have is Family Hits, which to my knowledge is the only one to actually feature Disney movie songs. There were others, but it's funny that you think I've ever listened to an AJ and Ally song. May I say, the selection here is a bit limited. Explain to me how they can have all these songs for Cinderella, but not one Tarzan or Hercules song. But the songs here are pretty classic. The Lion King songs make sense, Toy Story actually got a few in there. You better believe I sang Real Gone. My biggest issue, sadly, is that despite being a karaoke game, the lyrics still play, which can definitely throw you off. Now I know how Alex Warren felt. Well, here's my awful ass singing to play y'all out. Thanks for another awesome episode, and make sure to leave your requests in the comments below, and I'll try to include it in the next one. No, you ain't, bitch, because guess what? When I was recording Disney Sing It, it turns out that my microphone wasn't on!